Good morning, fellow travelers on Spaceship Earth. Here I am once again. We're going to save a copy of this because I just now realized that I have this in web mode, and that's stupid. All right. Okay. We're trying to get back down to basics here, right? Oxygen G suit. Quick disconnects. Okay. I am looking at this moment, I'm looking at the inner parts of a cockpit here, trying to kind of get an idea of what everything kind of is. And so I'm kind of looking at all the pieces. Because we're going to work on the other side of this. I'm actually going to use the neural filters on this and see if I can't get a sharpening out of it. Because this super zoom, right? Remove JPEG artifacts. And then there we go. Actually looks fine just as it is. There we go. I mean, some of it's not so good, but that's all right. The line work looks amazing. There we go. We'll pull these out. There. Now what I'm looking for here is somewhere in here. I did a full-fledged rundown on cockpits, and I've got them somewhere. Now I'm trying to figure out how the heck I managed to lose them. Now I'm going to go up to here, the big monitor, and see what I've got over here. Anyway, this morning we're going to start looking at things that are part of the cockpit or issues that need to be dealt with. Because I'm into the idea of adding a few parts to it. and making it be different this morning. That's what we're going to do. Or the music just started all of a sudden. I know I saved what. This is kind of frustrating because I kind of like. I saved. I wanted to save a thing where I just guess I couldn't. I'm looking specifically, if you're wondering what I'm doing, and not finding it. I'm looking specifically for. I have a layout. It's kind of cute. It was kind of like all of these buttons or whatever. It was kind of cute how it did it. I think I put it somewhere and hid it from myself just so I'll never find it ever again. This is the problem I'm having. Everything is so hard to find stuff. And I'll get a thing and put a thing together for the point of this one. apparently cannot spell today. Okay, we're going to fix a few things. All right, guys. Here's what we're going to do. We don't need all of these things, but some of these things will be very important. So we're going to fix my cockpit instrument panel, which right now is just a bunch of random dials and switches and things. And we're going to move it into a point where it makes some sense. So we're going to take another layer. We're going to paint that one white so that we know that we are only dealing with some things here. We're going to come over here. We're going to go to this panel. The first thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to flip this image. There we go. The reason we flipped it is because apparently this is backwards. So the next thing we're going to do is on this upper level, so that I know that I'm doing this, I'm going to put reversed. There. And the second thing we're going to do, now that we've done that, is we're going to talk about the main panel on the actual deck. That's this panel here. So I'm going to rotate the panel again. I'm going to rotate the image 90 degrees. Okay, there we go. We're actually going to just right here on this reversed already. It's already there, so and we're going to go here, and then here, and then here, and then here. There we go. Now, we're going to look at this, right? Because the first big ones we need are airspeed indicator, air altitude indicator, altimeter. Because these are the three things that look like they're the top panels, right? So let's start looking here at what we need. Because that should be front and center. I mean, like right in the middle of the instrument cluster should be the things that people think that you're doing. Right. So let's start by talking about what do our instruments look like. Let's standardize our instruments, right? I like things that are in polygons. I like things in hexagons like this. Right? So first thing we're going to do is that. Right? This is the first piece. Inside here, we'll do an ellipse. But I'll do that on a different layer just so that I have the opportunity to... Oh, that's not what I wanted. Opportunity to move it. There we go. Because then I can center it if I need to. One thing I'm also noticing, though, that I don't like, and that is if I want to show a close-up of that, it's going to get all rasterizy, right? So I really don't know if I like the fact that this control panel is like this. And I'm kind of thinking that maybe we should build a second control panel that sits on top of the first control panel and then just tell this to install it for purposes of making this work. And I'm starting to think that's probably not a bad idea. So for example, instead of doing this right now, I'm going to go boonk, boonk, right? And we're going to say reversed. And the new panels will look like a shape that's been allowed to exist as a shape. Like so. And that's what it should look like. And this is the bottom panel, which is what I think it should be. As it should be. As it should be. And the bottom panel then can be, I can grab it like this and say copy. And then go up here and say new. And we'll just do, I don't know, width. 2,000. Righty. Just put it here. And then instead of that looks a lot better. And then we can say change canvas size, and I can drop this canvas size to here. There. Now we can talk a little bit about like the flight controls and things like that and how we want to make them work. Okay. Okay. And that's a gauge. And thinking about these gauges, I'm like trying to figure out how do I want to do this? Legitimately, there's no reason to put all of these different things in here. We just need an X and a Y. So this could be X and this could be Y. I mean, I guess you need a roll. Maybe I'll move the absolute and relative buttons over. Nope. Now I'll move the absolute and relative buttons over to here. I can move this down just a smidge so that it's not right up against the actual border. There we go. There we go. So now we have the first set of important gauges, the most important pieces of this set. Right, this is your main primary instrument cluster. Now the next thing I'm going to do is build the instrument cluster. Right. So I'm like, how am I supposed to do this? And the answer is yes. Now what we'll do is take you and you and then align align to selection, I guess is probably what we're gonna have to do. Auto select you and then go here and say align here. I didn't align you at all. Selection, align there, align there. Oh, align there. Perfect. Now, deselect, and that has told me now where the center is. And now we'll just do all of the normal things. This to the center of the object, go out to the edge. From both directions. It doesn't have to be exact because these, though, I could see being a certain amount of dramatic flair to them, but either way, you want to make absolutely sure that it is clear what it's doing. All right. Maybe what we should do is just do 1/2 of the circle and then come back over and do the other half by a duplicate. That might not be a bad idea. Because then I could just do kind of that. That way it'll match both sides. Will match. And then I will put this on right here to give us a centered point. There. Now the gauge has a center point. And that way we can do things like make another circle. Right? Go up a layer. And since the circles start from the dead center, I can do this and then go like that. Maybe wasn't what I wanted to do, per se. Yeah, the good news about this is that, there we go. Go to the center, come back down, like this, like that. And that will allow us the ability to trim that. That was weird. There we go. All right. There. But even thinner than that. Is that what I want? Is that really what I want? Do I really want that? Do I really, really want that? No. Is that what I want? Is that really, really want what I really, really want? All right. I'm pretty sure that's what I want. Maybe I'll just call this well, let's duplicate it first. All right, so now we're going to take all of these layers except for that one, and obviously the bottom and that. We're going to copy it or flatten it down. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to take to this layer, Control-Shift-E, and that flattens it. Then we're going to take the bottom half of this guy and just cut him out. All right, then we're going to take you, and we're going to duplicate the layer. Then we're going to take that layer that we just duplicated. I'm going to say transform and flip vertical. And that will give us the bottom half of this in the exact duplicate of the top half. Right? Make sure that's correct. It looks like it might be there. Right? And okay. And now that's that. So we'll flatten that. And then we'll say duplicate. And then we say transform and flip horizontal. Right? And this guy goes here. Work, 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 work. Like that. We say okay. E. And then we go in here with white and just make sure that's filled and that's filled. And that gives us a problem as far as like the top and the bottom go, but I'm not that worried yet. Because what I'm going to do then is going to go in here and we're going to take this. There you go, create a new layer. You know what? It doesn't look like it's exactly right anyway. Let's go back a couple of steps. Actually, now that I've done that, I'm like, did you check it? Did you check it? Did you? Because that actually fits. It fits perfectly. Work, and we're good. Right now. Okay. This is the outside point of the gauge cluster. The inside point should be right here where it'll read out a certain number. What do we think, guys? 3 places? Probably 3 places. For space, it should probably be 3 places. Now we need to make it look like it belongs to Bellatrix Rising. What? What's your do? Your what hurts? Yeah, you're floofy is what you are. Georgeness. So much Georgeness. Yeah, I know. It's because you're full of George. I'm just saying, for those of you who are not full of George, you are full of George. You're like, you will love me, or I will come up here and pester you. Or I will come up here and pester you and get scritches anyway. Won't you? Won't you? You'll get scritches anyway. Scritches anyway. You need scritches. You run on concentrated scritches. You do. Did you know that? Did you know that you ran on scritches? Because you do. All right. Now putting this with the rest of the instrument cluster, you can kind of see what we're looking at here. All right. So that becomes an X and a Y and a Z. And I'm okay with that. So X, Y, and X, Y, Z. Z is roll. So it's going to be roll, pitch, yaw, which is what it should be. Right, so we got roll and pitch, yaw. That's this guy right here. No, this should be your up and down. What is, so thinking of eye line, right? I'm looking at my gauges and I'm at my eye line, and my eye line is going to lead to this right gauge more than it will to this left gauge, let's just say, as an example. So this has got to be the most important gauge. It's Z because that's your level of flight. Now remember, we keep the gauges manual. This has got an artificial horizon, but I don't see a need for an artificial horizon on here because you just got a Z gauge. And the Z gauge will keep everything. And I'm trying to think of like a way to set it so that it sets for. And I'm thinking about the way this ship will be traveling. Wow, it's a big truck. The ship will be traveling through space. It really only has I don't think the avoidance light should be in this cluster. That's what I'm kind of doing here is I'm like, I don't know if I want an avoidance light on this cluster, and I don't think I do. This is your range or your position in space. I guess we would have an altitude level. That's just somebody reminding me that I've got a meeting or a medical thing on Friday for the kiddo. But I feel like this middle should be a range too. I'm trying to think of the way to do this because, of course, you'd have okay, so you're in interstellar space, so to speak, between stars. That's absolute. Right. And then you'd have relative to the different objects that you're in or relative towards target, right? So you'd have absolute, you'd have system, and then you'd have target. That's what it'd be. Right? So we think about this. That didn't work. Hey, money. Okay. There you go. Now what we need is to duplicate you. Okay. There we go. This little triangle here, or this little triad, indicates where your gauges are showing you relative to what. Right? And so this gauge cluster right here, or this shows switches between absolute to system to target. So absolute would put you relative to the top of the galaxy. System would put you relative to the systems up and down. Target puts you relative to the targets up and down. And that's the way this works. And the only one that's mechanical is absolute. That works. I like it. For right now, we'll do all this in English, but we'll switch it to we'll switch it back to Tamerbashi in a bit. Yeah, you're just not going to ever do it in white, as I said it. There we go. Now we'll go in here and we'll just patch up my problem children. Fix my mistakes. There we go. Perfect. And I think that this is a multi-cluster right here. So we're going to make the multi-cluster on this. I think the right side should be altimeter. Ooh, we'll do that. But I'm not liking doing that one too much because it's like, yeah. There we go. Take this half of the cluster off. You don't need it. This is an inside level. Make sure this goes up. So. And the inside one will be gravity. Nope, you're doing it wrong. There we go, one more. Okay, so this is going to be then a proximity warning, and I'm actually going to do this cluster this way. I'm going to go like so. Right? And then we're going to give it a warning light. Nope. There we go. I'm trying to decide whether I should keep it this way. What do you think? You think I keep it this way? Are you fluffy? All right. So, looking at our primary gauge list, what we have is ranged target, approximate light, a proximity light, which is what you are. You're a proximity beacon. I haven't decided whether I'm going to have more than one of these, which I might. So let's go ahead and make it small. Like that. Then we'll have on beacon or not. I feel like there needs to be a you're off target offline. Like there needs to be ground warning lights, beacon warning lights. I'm not liking the circles though. They make me kind of crabby. So I'm going to delete the circles. We're going to just make a beacon cluster. It says what it's supposed to say, which is it? Thanks. Cluster. There we go. Who knows? I has deleted the actual lines. That don't help me any. There we go. One more. Good morning, Colton. How are you doing this wonderful morning? We are working on on the main primary control panel of all of my spaceships. I was realizing it could be dramatic if we allowed, if we knew what the clusters did, they would actually do something, and then we could have like dramatic scenes of there's a beacon light or whatever, you know. I don't know, something saying double talk that actually makes some sense. This is one of the things that my buddy James was commenting on. He was commenting on the Star Trek musical episode that just happened. One of the songs, of course, is all technobabble, and it's just an awesome song because it's all Star Trek technobabble. But what he was saying was, it may be Star Trek technobabble, but it's all consistent. It's like, you know, what they're saying is certainly, you know, not they're not babbling per se. All of it is actual Star Trek technology. And that's what he was saying was an interesting thing about Star Trek on that one. And so I was like, well, you know, if I do this, what I really should do is make all of this consistent. Which would be cool. And so I'm kind of having a fun time here. And what I'm doing is just thinking through, what do these buttons do? What do these buttons do? Do you know, George? You don't even know. That's your problem, George. You've never known what these bubbles did. These buttons. You know what I mean? Maybe the top button is the proximity light? I don't know. I feel like the proximity light would be a big, white, bright, red light. we go. Put that there. Like the range light means you're way too close. Proximity should be close. Maybe it should be reversed because you're within range, but the proximity is a problem child. So this is these two gauges indicate a light that says that you're close, and then proximity is a warning. You're way too close. The plus value indicating that you're off the beacon by a certain Good morning, Troa. These are all effectively idiot lights. Hopefully, most of the time, these lights are mostly off, except for lock and proximity. You want both of those, the range and the proximity, to be good. want to fit. That'll fit. All right, now that we've done that, let's go ahead and merge those all together so they become one. Okay, so looking at our cluster, we've kind of gotten a little bit further down this road here. This is your X value, your Y value, and your Z value for the spacecraft. So, and then these three buttons set by absolute or by system or by target. So absolute is by a beacon that's at the top of the galaxy. So these controls will reset absolute to the top of the galaxy. System then adjusts it to the angle of the system. So if the system is at a 30-degree angle sideways and 40-degree angle this way or whatever, it'll adjust all of these so that you're by the system, so that you come into the star correctly. And then target sets for whatever your target is. So if you're, hey, love soda, huh? I kind of like that name. So target then would align the spacecraft correctly to a target, like a planet. Wonder if I should have like a surface as well. Kind of like my triumvirate of buttons down there instead of having a quad. I don't know if I want a quad. Roll, pitch, yaw. So it still shows the same kind of thing. I think then this guy should just be surface. We're always starting out way large, but I think that'd be fine. There we go. This outer one is going to be G load. Yeah? I think it's G. No, it should be thrust. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be thrust. It's got to be smaller than that. No, that's not what I wanted you to do. Can I undo my undo? Even with it that small, it's still not going to fit in here easily. Maybe it should be boost. Still the same number of characters. You didn't help yourself any. But I don't know if I like it as thrust anyway, so might just stay boost just because it's easier for us to read. And doesn't necessarily represent a specific engine type. Right, so it doesn't tell me what my specific engine type is, and it'll be relative. This is another one that I think should probably be inverted. And then we'll just put in the bottom here where we do this thing, kind of go in here and kind of do this stuff and whatever. Now, in the world of Bellatrix Rising, when in a light speed mode, or when going faster than the light, most of the onboard computers can't think, so they cannot actually make a processing. This can't be under processing. These have to be actual gauges. And that's kind of part of the ongoing problem, is that these gauges have to be actual gauges. As soon as this spacecraft hits any kind of speed of any sort above light speed, it starts having problems with the processors. So that's why I'm doing all of these manual gauges. This is the heaviest gauge of them all. It's the gravity gauge. There we go. Gravity plays a big part in the way that the worlds they live in here operate. So gravity, specific gravity, is an important part of these controls in that we need to know, what is and what is not high gravity at this point. So we've been marking everything else. We'll mark these too while we're at it. Like I said, there will be a version of this that does not actually have all these words are starting to look funny to me because I've been working too much on them, and so they all look strange. There we go. There we go. Now roll, pitch, and yaw. The only thing I'm wondering about is whether surface is the correct word for it or not. Any which way, I will right now go ahead and flatten all of this down so that all is on one unit. We need to do a couple of housekeeping things. There. Because we need to make it look like it's correct. No, again. Because the boost is going to say 0 here, right? It'll roll at 0, and you'll boost up to here. That'll be your boost alarm. And the specific gravity should be at neutral. And so what we'll do is we'll draw a neutral line here, which indicates neutral. And then below will be a different specific gravity. So a little above. and we'll hit a point. So when we're doing this in black and white, it's a little harder to make.
Incoming call from an unknown caller.
I'm making this difficult, guys. I don't even know who this is from South Carolina. They're calling all the time during the day, and I'm not sure what that means. And also not leaving messages, which is frustrating. As I was saying, when you're dealing with black and white images like we are right here, we have to kind of do a little bit of things that, or we have to do a couple of things that don't always work the best. Oh, no, this time they left a message. That's nice of them. Right? So no matter what, we kind of have to do this to indicate a negative specific gravity, which is fine. And then I will take this point and go to here and not do anything apparently, because we hate things. I don't know. Curve. Oh, this point. Why are you gray? Don't be gray. There we go. We'll go here to here. I'm just trying to get a little bit more of that curve in here. It didn't curve quite as much as I wanted it to. The other thing I've noticed is that you have, this is full negative gravity. That's a lot of pressure back ways. Positive gravity is up to here. Now we're getting a bunch of things. What's going on? Oh, all in Japanese. Let's not do that. All right. No, it's all good, man. It's all good. Good to see you, Jackson. Always a pleasure. I am trying desperately not to mess this up too much. Again. That's always good. I mean, busy is not bad. Oh, it was fine. It was fine. We did. I did. I did a couple of panels and stuff like that, and then Dr. Friedman talked me into going back to school. So there's that. So I've already gone up to CU Boulder and done a walkthrough, and that's not what I wanted to do because this is full in, so I want to go this way. Did a walkthrough. I've been talking about all the pieces for it and stuff like that, and so how to get like aid and things because of course I'm going to need help on this one. But yeah, it turned out to be fine. The con itself was okay. I mean, nothing weird happened. We had like a situation with some guy who was being like particularly, I don't know, jerky to us, and now he's going out on the internets and saying, you know, we're terrible people. And I'm like, well, I mean, and of course, I always feel kind of bad because it's like there's nothing we can say. We legally have to not say anything. And so it's like, that's not cool. We can't say it, you know, it's his fault or whatever. They just have to take it on the chin. I always feel like that's such a dumb thing. Yeah, it wasn't us. Yeah, people need the drama. I just wish he wasn't out on social media being so much of a drama llama, you know? That's the biggest problem. Right. Oh, that is cool. That's cool. I mean, like, it's pretty kick butt. Yeah. Oh, that's actually really nice. I like that idea. And I'm almost out of time. No. Away. Alrighty. Think we have made now the primary primary part of the instrument cluster. There, that's what we've got. This is the primary instrument cluster. That is your main controller for running a spaceship in Bellatrix Rising. Right there. It's your primary cluster. So that's good. We have done our bit for King and Country for today. I will see you all, as usual, tonight. And maybe Jackson will join us, but maybe not. We'll see. It's always something new. Either way, guys, I appreciate you all being here with me today and joining me and hanging out while doing this. And I hope to see you around. And as always, keep your eyes on the stars. Goodbye.